Okay, so just a couple Finder basics that are going to help you find your way to your files a little bit better. When you first click on a hard drive or you create a new window by hitting Apple N, either one of those are going to create a new window. The format of this window, what comes up here, is determined by your Finder preferences. So the way to get to that is to go to your Finder menu, choose Finder Preferences, or hit Apple comma, Command comma. That brings up your Finder preferences. There's several tabs up here. The most important that we're going to talk about here are the General tab and the Sidebar. So under the General tab, a new Finder window show. So you can choose how a new window is going to pop up. What is the view when the window first opens? I recommend that you use the top one here. This is your computer view drive. So that is going to give you the most zoomed out. So when you open that, it will actually show you the individual hard drives that are available to you. That helps to direct you to the right place, like your class drive, because your class drive is going to be visible right now. If your preference is set to be your user folder, now when I create a new folder, you'll see the view is actually inside my user folder. And if you look at some of the other tutorials we've mentioned, you don't want to store anything inside of your user folder. People do by accident, but it's not where you want to by default. So that's why I say it's more helpful if you set the preference in the first place so that your new window is going to actually give you a computer's eye view of everything, and then you can find your way right to your class drive where you need to store your files. Okay, so that's one preference that you want to set. That's on your first page in the General tab, New Finder Windows Show. The other one that you want to look at is your Sidebar. In a similar sense, you want to be able to see your computer as a device. That's off by default, as is your user folder. You don't see them over here. So what you're going to want to do is turn on your devices so that you can actually see your computer. So if you ever get lost in a Finder menu, you can always get back to that new window view by clicking there. I'll show you how we do that. So now I'm inside of some other folder here on my computer. I don't know where I am. So if I need to get back to that computer-based view, the bird's eye view, now underneath devices, I can see my actual computer, and boom, I'm back to that first screen that I had, and I can see my class drive, so I know where to store my files. The other one that's useful to have on to help you troubleshoot is actually your user folder. So the user folder, it's just the FCP and your username. That doesn't show up in the sidebar of a Finder window by default. It's by preference, it's hidden. So what happens is if you accidentally end up saving something inside of your user folder, even though I know everybody is going to be really, really careful and not do that. However, if you make a mistake and you realize, uh-oh, I need to get that file out of there, now you can go into your user folder and you can see, okay, well, here's my downloads. Here's the things that I shouldn't have downloaded into my downloads folder. Here's my movies or my music, things that I stored in my iTunes library that I shouldn't have. Because you don't want to use your iTunes library. You want to use a folder within your project and store any music or anything like that there, right? Okay, so within the Finder preference, in the sidebar option, you're going to turn on your user folder and you're going to turn on your computer as a device. Also make sure that hard disks has an actual checkbox next to it so that you see all the hard drives that are available, to you, not just some of the hard drives, which would be indicated by a dash. All right. Other than that, you can also clean this up by turning off some of the other people's computers, your cloud-based, your Mac account, some of these other things. That's up to you, but I recommend that you definitely turn on those other things that you had. So that's just a Finder basic, a couple of little things to help you in finding your way around the Finder.